Okay, so now we're ready to actually do something with all this information. Before I do that, I am going to make this just a little bit smaller though. So I'm going to go to my login CSS and I'm going to make the error header be 1.5 M and make the error detail be 1 M so that it matches the boxes. Oh, that's a little better. Okay, so when the user goes ahead and registers, we're going to want to first check to see whether there's already an existing account name with that name. And then if there isn't, we're going to want to create a new account. And we're also going to want to set the username on the current session. So we want to start a current session. And that needs to be at the very top because it's going to be changing the Hypertext Transfer Protocol header, but after we've gone ahead and gotten a secure session, secure connection. So session start, and then in the code, if we get here, first we're going to want to check if the account already exists. And I'm going to try to write this in a general way as well, because the idea of having a key value pair and a file and being able to look that up and modify it and so on, that's sort of a general thing that I can use in a couple of places. So I'm going to say $user is equal to lookup key value, and I'm going to pass in the username, and I'm going to pass in the name of a file. So this will be my user account file. And then if not empty user, then I'm going to return an error message, register account exists. So I need to define that and this. So user account file and constants. And so now I have the issue of where to put this. And in a real program, I would want to put this outside of htdocs. I can actually write a full path and file name like c:/foo/bar text.csv. And this can be basically anywhere I want it to be. And if I put it here, then nobody can access it from my web server because they can only access documents that are under htdocs. But PHP can access it fine. So that's what I'd want to do in real life. But to keep these projects relatively simple, when you submit it to me and I go to grade it, I need to make sure that this file actually exists. So what I'm going to do is right-click and create a new directory for data. And then I'm going to right-click and create a new file called users.csv. And that's where I'm going to store my user data. So this is less than ideal on a real site because if I navigate to localhost CIS 195p video poker data users.csv, I can actually access the contents of this file. And even though the data in there is secure, I still don't want to necessarily reveal information about what users are registered. So I wouldn't do this in real life, but I'm going to do it here for this lab. And then in constants, I'm going to go ahead and set the path to be ... and then data users.csv. So that's my account file. And then my eAccount exists error. So that's the constants, and then we have the heavy lifting. So I need to define lookup key value, and this is going to be a general function, so I'm going to put this in utility so I can reuse it later. And this is going to take a key and a file name. And the actual code is going to look a lot like what I did in the tutorial video for reading and modifying a file. And this part's just going to be the reading part. So I'm going to start by opening the file. For read. And I'm going to lock the file for shared, because I'm just reading. And then I'm going to have a loop where I get a line from file. And I'm always going to have the key be the first field in this file. So I'm going to go ahead and define that constant right in here so that I don't need a separate utilities constants. Call that file key field is 0. So if $line of file key field is equal key, then I found the right line, so I'm going to break. Otherwise, I'm going to do this while $line. So when I get here, either line is going to be set to the matching record or line is going to be empty. So either way, I can unlock the file, and close the file, and then return line. So this is either going to return a valid user line or whatever line, or it's just going to return null. So if I get here, I'm going to go ahead and create a new user. So once again, I'm going to use a generic function. So add key value, username, and then an array, username, comma. And here I want to hash the password. So password hash, password using password default. Okay, so let's go ahead and write add key value. And this is also going to look like the example code I wrote in the lesson. Oh, I also need the file name. Let's make sure I do that. So this is user account file. Okay. So fopen file name for both reading and writing, R+, flock file lockx, exclusive access, do while line, and I want to create a contents array need a $ here. There we go. And then line is f get CSV file, and then contents of line of file key field is line if not line break. So this is going to loop through, read all the lines, break when I hit the empty line, and store everything in contents. Then $contents of key is equal to record. So I either change the existing record or I add a new one. And then finally I want to truncate file 0 and rewind file. So now I'm starting at the beginning again, and now I'm going to loop through the file, loop through the contents. Put CSV file line. So I should be done. So I'm going to unlock my file. And close the file. So that should be it. Let's go ahead and double check our login code. So if this works, we've added a user account, and then the last thing we want to do is set the username in the session. So we need a key for that. Like so. And this is a session key. So let's call it session username key. Okay, so let's go ahead and set that thing. So $ under session of session username key is equal to username. And we've successfully set it, and instead of returning nothing here, we want to redirect somewhere. So if the user is successfully logged in, we don't want to return them to the login page. So what we want to do is use header location : and then we need to know where to send them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another constants file, and this is going to be page constants, and it's just going to be the paths for various pages. So home page is going to be /, and then the redirect is going to be .homepage, and then login is going to require once, includes page constants. So this way the login code doesn't need to know anything about the project it's living in. It's just going to redirect to the root. And let's go ahead and try it and see what happens. So I'm going to register a new account, mark test register, Okay, so fopen data users.csv, no such file or directory. So I got the path a little bit wrong, because I'm actually on this page, which includes this page. But really, it should just be data/users. So it's the page that you have included from, not the page that you're including, that determines the path. So login constants, this should just be this. Try reload. Well, that's not good. So I must have an error here somewhere. Actually, I'm just going to go to here again, and we'll try mark test register. Oh, so it actually did add something here. So that actually worked. It created my account. Let's try a different one. Mark test register. Oh, I didn't want slash. What I actually, so that's why I was having a problem before. So for my page constants, I actually want CIS 195p slash video poker. Okay, so let's try Mark 3 register, and it worked. So I got forwarded to my main page where I can proceed. So let's try it once again with a name that already exists. Mark, no password, so password must be supplied. Test. Username already exists. Please try a different username. So that all looks like it's working correctly. Try Mark 4. Register. Works fine.